Now it's time for us to integrate our networking into our drawing program in some way. And the first thing we're going to do is actually fairly simple. I want to add it into our drawing program, the ability to basically send drawings from one program to another. So the way we're going to do this, I've copied our drawing code over into a sub package inside of networking. And pretty much all of this is going to go inside of the main. So we have our menus set up here. I want to add another menu. Okay, and I want this to be kind of a collaborate menu. And that's what we're going to work on. So we'll call it the collaborate menu. And it's a new menu. And I want to have a few items in here. So the first one is going to be used for telling our program that we want to run as a server so that we can accept drawings. Okay, so when you want to have someone else send you a drawing, the idea is we're going to open a server socket, and that server socket will wait for connections with accept, and then it will, when you get them, you'll be asked if you actually want to keep them. And then actually I might even throw that one out because it'll add a new tab. So you'll just get a new tab for it. Okay, so we'll have an accept item, which will be a new menu item for accept drawings. And then I also need, for the client side, the ability to send an item, send a drawing through. And we'll just call that the send item, which is a new menu item of send a drawing, and that's singular because it sends whatever current drawing is up and selected. And then after we do these, so these are we're going to do with normal socketing, I also want to have kind of a little collaborative drawing thing. And I say little, that's actually going to be a larger piece of code, and it's going to take us a number of videos to create. And so I want to have the ability to join one of these collaborations. And I also want to have the ability to somehow share my drawing to the collaboration. Actually, maybe for the videos we'll skip that functionality. So you can just join a collaboration, and the collaboration will allow you to sketch things out. You can communicate and chat, and then you could come back to these original options and send them. All of those need to be added to the collaborate menu. So I want the accept item, the send item, and the join item to all be in that menu. And then I will add the collaborate menu to our menus there. We can run it real quick, make sure that our code is happy. And sure enough, here's our collaborate menu. So now we just need to add handlers to each one of those so that they do what we want. So let's see, accept, send, and join are different items down here. And I'll come down to the bottom. So we have the accept item, the send item, and the join item. And for each one of these, we're going to set on action to be a new, or to be a function that takes an action event and does something. Okay. So what should each of these do? Well, when we say that we want to start accepting things, we need to start up a server on our machine, and then we should not be able to do that again. So I'm going to kind of do some top-down design here. I'm going to say we're going to write a method called start server. And then we want to take this item and disable it. So we're going to set the disable to true. We need to write start server then. So let's see, there we have a make drawing, and this is going to be another private method. This one's going to be completely private. No one else should be able to call it. Start server. Doesn't give back anything. It's just going to start up the server for us. Now, I really don't want this because this is basically going to have an infinite loop inside of it, and as we know, all of the menu stuff and the drawing stuff and everything happens in a single thread in Scala FX, because that's the way Java FX does it. So I really don't want to put an infinite loop on my event thread, or I won't be able to do anything with my GUI. So the first thing I'm going to do here is put all of this inside of a future. Okay, so we're going to build a future in here, and then inside of that we can make our server socket, and I'll go with port 8088 on this. I need the keyword new in front of there. Okay, and then we're going to have an infinite loop. So basically this is going to run as long as the application is running. It's going to accept connections and then try to get the drawings from them. So we'll accept our connection, and then I need, now this is just going to read drawings. We're not going to do two-way communication on this. I just want to be able to accept the drawings and then add them to our set of drawings here. That's an interesting error message. We'll keep going. So I don't need an output stream because I'm never writing anything and sending it to the other side, but I do need to use the input stream, and I'd like to get whole objects from this. So I'm going to make an object input stream that I'm going to wrap around a buffered input stream. I need the word new in here, which I am going to wrap around the input stream from the socket. Okay, we'll import those. So now we have something that we can read from, and we kind of have to decide how, at this point, what we're going to send between them. Well, okay, if I was going to have you approve or disapprove the drawing, I'd probably want to know who was sending it. We're going to skip that. That adds extra GUI code that doesn't really add much to our learning here, since we care about the networking. But when I add tabs, I do like to have names for them, so I will read in a title. And there is a read UTF function, which basically reads a string for you, converted to binary format in such a way that it knows when it's done. And once I've done that, then I want to read an object that should be a drawing. So we'll say, actually, let's just go ahead and read it and then have a match that decides what we're going to do. I guess also, so I don't forget to do it, let's go ahead and close our output stream and close our socket. Okay. Now, one thing that is interesting here, so it's OIS.read object match. We want this to be a drawing, so, and if it's anything other than a drawing, then we have a problem. We don't know what to do with anything else. So maybe we just print out non-drawing received. Okay. And all we have to do is fill in this code right here. So if we get a drawing, we have to decide what we're going to do with it. If I were waiting for human input on something, I would actually probably need to put this inside of a future. Okay, I'd have to wrap another future here so that we could then accept the next thing. And one could actually make the argument maybe we should consider doing that anyway, just in case someone decides to maliciously attack this. Because what you don't want is the ability to get one connection, have it not send you anything. This is a blocking call, right? So this could sit here forever, and prevent our server from accepting other diagrams. Something I'm not going to worry about at this point, especially because the client, which is also going to be this program, we're going to have another method in this program that will work as the client, and it will basically send us a string and then send us a drawing in rapid succession. Okay, so there shouldn't be a delay between them, there shouldn't be a pause that we have to worry about stalling things out. So when we come back, we will implement this, and then we'll begin working on the client so that we can actually send the drawing from that side.